We are now ready to do our 2 stitches, and if you look at the directions at the top of the back page, it says stitch here, and it's up and down on each side. Now it tells us here to do a straight stitch, stitch length 2.5, back stitch, and a 5/8 inch seam allowance, which we have learned how to do. So let's put it on 2.5 and put it back on the straight. Now we're just going to sew right here. A lot of people want to sew all the way across. You do not do that. So we're going to put it in here at 5/8, lower the presser foot, do a couple of stitches, back, go all the way. I go a little bit past the edge of that zigzag, and then back. Raise that up. Cut that off. Now you're going to turn it around and do this side. And since we're using the 5/8, we'll need to start going opposite what we did on the other side. So we'll start, back stitch, go to the end, and back stitch. That's it. All right, now once you have that done, you're ready to move on to the next step, which it says cut corners. And to do that, you're just going to trim the corner off, but don't cut the stitching. And what that does is it removes the bulk of the fabric. Because what we're going to do now says to turn him inside out on the next step, and you're going to flip it just like that. I'll do that one more time. So you're like this, you put your thumbs in and you flip it. All right, now it tells us to press under 5/8 on the sides and the lower edge. So let's come over here to the iron where we have a little bit more room. Get our pins and our seam gauge. And this top edge is just going to fold under on that dotted line or somewhere very close to it. So we're just going to put some pins in here. The ball's out because we're going to iron that later. All right, so now we're going to focus on the 2 sides and the bottom. Do you see how this is naturally just folding in at 5/8? And if you look at your ruler here, you count 5 little marks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 5/8. And you're going to pin the 5/8. Just like so. So I put about 3 pins on the side here. And then if you come over here to this side, it's folding, poke that out. It should fold naturally at 5/8, and the reason it does that is because we sewed it at 5/8. If you don't sew it at 5/8, it's not going to fold at 5/8. And then the last edge, which is the bottom, you're going to need to measure with your seam gauge, 5/8, all the way across. And you're going to put about 5 pins in the bottom. Now once you have your pins in and all your edges folded, you need to press it. Again, pressing is very important when it comes to sewing because it makes it nice and neat and a crisp edge. One last pin. He's hiding in the chicken. All right, so let's go ahead and press it. And don't press the balls of the pin, so you don't want to melt them. All right. Now at this point, you are ready for my approval. Thank you.